What's going on, guys? Doc Danny here. I want to thank you so much for listening to the PT Entrepreneur Podcast. One of the most common questions that I get is, how did you start a practice in a gym? And because of that, I've put together a course called the Gym PT Blueprint, which shows you exactly how to start, run, and grow a successful practice in a gym. If you're a new PT, if you're a new grad, if you're a PT that's just started a practice in the gym, you're not making more than $12,000 a month yet, this course is perfect for you. It'll teach you how to set it up correctly. It'll teach you how to market yourself correctly, how to sell correctly, how to actually build a true business and not just a little side business that maybe doesn't take you anywhere and change you and your family's life long term. So if you're interested in this model of a practice, guys, head to drdannymate.com/products and you can take a look at the Gym PT Blueprint and everything that goes into it at that location. Thanks so much for listening.
So here's the question. How do physical therapists like us, who don't want to see 30 patients a day, who don't want to work home health, and have real student loans, create a career and life for ourselves that we've always dreamed about? This is the question, and this podcast is the answer. My name's Danny Mate, and welcome to the PT Entrepreneur Podcast. What's going on, guys? Doc Danny here with the PT Entrepreneur Podcast, and today I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent from business. I want to talk a little about the profession of physical therapy and something that I noticed while I was teaching at the last course that I had for Mobility WOD, and I want to talk about the concept of being a hypocrite, because one of the things that I've found in our profession is, as a whole, our profession, we tell a lot of people to make physical changes, to make lifestyle changes, right? Whether that be do these exercises, do these stretches, eat this food, don't eat these things, don't drink these things, get more sleep, manage your stress. And yet, when we look at ourselves as a profession, many of us are not focusing on these things. So I'll give you a good example. When I was at Fort Lewis, I was teaching for a group of 30 PTEs and PTAs. And I'm not specifically picking anybody out in this example if you're listening to this, but I want to talk about the concept of how little we take care of ourselves and can be very hypocritical with our patients in many cases. So I asked the question, as I talked about problems in the tactical community, one of those being sleep-related issues, people not sleeping enough or sleeping very well. And I asked the group, I said, raise your hand if you're getting between 7.5 and 8.5 hours of sleep every night, which is what the recommendations are based off of sleep science that is out right now. And I think there were maybe 2 or 3 people that raised their hand. So let's say 3 out of 30. Which is not a good percentage. 10% of those people raise their hand. So I said, okay, if you're getting between 6.5 and 7.5 hours of sleep, so maybe another 5 people raise their hand. So of the 30 people that were there, 8 people were averaging 6.5 hours of sleep per night, and the other 22 were getting less than that. And we know that sleep is one of the most anabolic things you can do for your body. It's one of the best ways to heal, one of the best ways to recover, one of the best ways to reset your hormones back to building yourself back up and not just always breaking down. You feel better whenever you sleep. You're more enjoyable to be around because you're not a cranky jackass. And one of the things that we counsel our patients on oftentimes, and hopefully everyone here that's listening to this is doing the same thing, is just how important sleep is. And the ability to prioritize that is very important. And for us to be able to educate our patients on that, the buy-in factor of that, it makes our outcomes so much better. And it's something that every patient that I see, I talk to about sleep. And I'm shocked at how many people have terrible sleep habits. So as practitioners, as people that are being seen for, you're seeing us for help with something musculoskeletal related. If you come and talk to us and we do not, do these things ourselves, how are we supposed to be credible in telling you to do this stuff as well, right? And that's just one example, sleep. When you look at the 4 pillars of health that we prioritize, it's sleep, stress management, nutrition, and training or movement, right? And the other thing that I noticed in this 2-day course is that many of us do not prioritize physical training whatsoever. No physical activity more than what's barely necessary to get around, to get by. And we have a hypocritical population, by and large, within the medical field. And it's not just physical therapy, it's medicine in general. But when we look at physical therapists, I mean, we are honestly telling people to do things like move more, stretch, don't eat these things, exercise. Think about how many of your problems just go away when you start to move and you get a little bit stronger. So it's disheartening for me as someone that is a physical therapist to see that the large majority of our profession is not practicing what they preach. And it's that simple. We know better. We know better than other people do. And if you know better and you still neglect to follow the advice that you would give other people, you're a hypocrite. It's that simple. And if you're listening to this and you're one of those people, I challenge you to change. I challenge you to do the right things, for yourself, for your family, for your health, not just for your ability to tell other people what to do. That's very easy. It's very hard for you to be consistent with training, nutrition, managing your stress levels. Sleep, it shouldn't be freaking hard. Go the fuck to sleep. There, it's that simple. Set the stage to go to bed a little bit earlier. Get a little bit better sleep. Get some blackout shades. Get a little ambient background noise. Stop playing video games before you go to bed. Stop looking at your phone and getting drug into an extra 30 minutes of the rabbit hole of Instagram and YouTube before you go to bed. Do these things and make a physical change yourself. And then it's going to be so much easier for you to relate to people, to get buy-in with people, and make the changes that they need to make. But here's the reality. If you are telling people to make these changes and you're unwilling to do it yourself, you're a liability to our profession. You water it down, and you should find something else to do.